Welcome to my channel. On these last days of winter, I decided to look back at the whole season and to think which works I consider my best for these last 3 months. And I selected pictures which gave me maybe the sense of accomplishment, or maybe they created quite happy hours for me. Maybe they are not the most complicated, but let me explain about each of them. There will be 5 best works. The first one is in Winter Wonder. I think that this one, even if it was colored very quickly and there is nothing very complicated here, but when I look at this one, I feel all the things which I personally missed during this winter. To spend lovely quiet hours inside of your warm highlighted house with cozy atmosphere outside and inside, with inner calm, which we can clearly see here. So that was missing for me this winter, but I hope that next winter it will be better. I think that it was a concentration of the things which I love during winter season, which I missed, and which I am looking for the next winter season. So that's definitely one of my best works. Every time when I look at it, I have this warm, fizzy feeling inside of my chest. So for me, it's best winter times. Next one, it's Angel, which I did in January when we colored angels for Color with Ukraine. Each time when I color in this book, when I look at the finished picture, I praise myself that I managed to do very decent work on this thin paper. When I just got those books, I totally was in love with the art, but paper felt so thin, so unpleasant even, and with this black background which usually gives you some problems if you use markers, that I was afraid to color something here. But every time when I do pictures here, I feel like I can do decent works here. I stopped to be afraid of this paper. I already did many decent works here, including portraits. Yes, I decided for myself that on such paper I won't be doing any complicated shading on skin. It's just a couple of pencils to show basic highlights and shadows. But other things like metal, like fabric, or even feathers, it's totally possible to do on this paper, and her art is so lovely that I am definitely the biggest fan of Chris Ortega. It's sad that I don't color in her books more frequently. They all are very detailed, they are elegant. I do love compositions here. Sometimes I mourn about such frames which I don't know how to color, but how she depicts all characters, how beautiful are their faces, how she put interesting outfits, and how she adds some lovely details. That's why I'm totally in love with Chris Ortega art. And here I think that I managed to show the balance between the angelic angelic creature with those soft wings, with that halo, and that he is definitely a defender. So that's probably why I love this one. When I selected colors for this picture, I even looked at medieval paintings which depicted Saint Michael and which colors old masters selected for the outfit, for the coat. And yes, it helped me, so that's why I have this unusual violet, purple, violet blue colors for the outfit. So it was an interesting way to select my colors. Next one, it's in Steampunk Revival, and it's a page which I did in February, again for Color with Ukraine, color along. This time I needed something with minors, with metals, and it was dedicated to Donetsk region of Ukraine. When I found this one, I immediately realized that it was perfect choice for February. First, it has roses, so it's also a reminder about St. Valentine's Day, and it has this miners, metal work, everything which we connect to Donetsk region. And I colored it very quickly. I was very happy how my vibrant roses look together with those steampunk elements and with leaves around them. But then appeared problem of the background. That's famous problem of the background. Here I decided to use two art supplies which I almost never use. The first one is gel crayon. I have a small set of King Art gel crayons. First, as a stupid person, I tried to use it similar to Neocolor water-soluble crayons. It was a disaster, and only later I realized that I can use them similar to how we use distress inks or distress oxides, using brush, and that's where I started to use them at least from time to time. This time everything went quite well. It's actually two shades, cream and peach probably, and stencil, just to add halo behind the flowers. And then on top of it, sides I shaded with distress oxides. I have not many oxides, but I do love this grayish tint. I definitely think that maybe I need to purchase something similar but slightly darker. So layer of gray and then a little bit of burgundy red on the sides. It helped me to do background quick, even if at the moment when I did it, I was terrified that I will mess up this lovely page. I keep telling myself that, oh, if you mess it up, you can do once again second copy. Of course, I didn't want to repeat it, so when I finished this background and it looked quite well, it complemented the main image, and in the same time it looked exactly like I imagined, so I was a very happy person, so I definitely consider it as one of the best. For me, it's unusual to use such a limited color palette. I noticed that the more dark feelings I have inside of me, the darker is my mood, the more vibrant are my pictures. So usually I do colorful pictures using the whole set of Prismacolors, all pencil into one page. But here I managed to limit colors, and that's another reason why I love this page so much. I think that effect is quite lovely. Next, it will be dark fairy tales. Actually, it was difficult to select which is my favorite work, because during this whole winter season, December, January, February, I color in this book almost non-stop, and I definitely don't intend to stop. It gave me a lot of happy hours, even if indeed it took hours to finish even one page, and I also have a tendency to select spreads. In the end, I decided that maybe the most interesting and creative fairy tale which I finished so far, it's Hansel and Gretel. I started from the right side, and the right side I finished rather quickly. I decided from the beginning that I will be combining Prismacolors and polychromacies in this book, depending from which colors I prefer from each brand. For example, from Prismacolors, I love their colors for baked goods, or colors like hot pink for such marshmallow or effect. But in polychromos, I prefer their red and orange shades if I need to color flame or similar things. So it's a mix of pencils. And the right side I did quickly. Then those colors, it helped me to finish building on the left. And then started my moment of dark crisis, because I didn't know how to finish the bottom part. I wanted to show this story, the duality of this building, what we imagine and what is the true image of the witch house. I pretty quickly selected colors for the building, those muted grays, dirty ochre colors, that was okay. I decided to add red for more dramatic effect in all the doors and windows, and it also was okay. But then I totally didn't know how to do the background until one day I saw, maybe it was a cover or illustration to some horror book. I just saw it somewhere on Instagram, and it used this lovely color combo of grayish green and indigo, and I immediately realized that such color combo, it's a very good combo to create this mood of horror, of something dark, and in the same time it's not just boring black. Very lovely color combo, which I immediately tried here, and I managed to finish my background quite quickly, so now I absolutely love the reflection part also. It reminded me that inspiration for your coloring pictures, for your projects, can arrive from anywhere, from everywhere. You just need to look, you just need to notice interesting color combos, some inspirational ideas, and one day you will be able to use them for one of your colored pictures. But honestly, I love all my works here, and I hope that I will continue to color in this book with the same speed as I did during this winter season. Then, in the end of the year, I will have such a lovely selection of pictures. I can imagine a flip through of my finished works. But yes, I need to work with the same speed because we have a lot of pictures and all of them are very detailed, so this book requires a lot of time. Next one, it's finally a truly winter picture. It's Leon's journey, just without the cover. And this page, it reminded me how much I love to color botanical illustrations, how much I love to work on flowers, how much I love to work on animals and birds which were created by Kanoko Igusa. When we have a lovely, elegant, very nicely done line art, it's a pleasure to color, it's nothing complicated. And when we have book printed on great paper, even pencil background, and this whole background I did simply with pencils, it's not a problem. Comparing to much smaller symphony where paper is not as good, where I struggle every time when I need to do pencil background, it was a huge pleasure. So I think that this one is a good contrast between colder colors on the background, stones or the sky, with very classical red, gold and green for the wreath. So very lovely, and my favorite character is the sparrow. And finally, my favorite work of this winter, it's my Frozen Lady. You know that I don't color portraits frequently. Even less frequently I color girls with fantasy skin tones. All I managed to master is fair skin tone with couple of pencils, and that's all. But finally, on this great paper and with this great style of Christine Karen, where we have very helpful shading and great paper for everything, for markers, for pencils, for watercolor, I managed to do several lovely portraits, but this one is definitely the best. I did my Frost Lady with basic blue skin tone, but I also added a little bit of pink, lavender and even greenish tones to add highlights and reflections both on her skin, on her hair. It's a mix of pencils. I used Prismacolors, polychromasis, even couple of luminance and Derwent pencil. Derwent mostly for blending to get this very smooth color. But again, this paper, it allows you to work with any pencil brands and result still will be great. I was surprised myself how quickly and without problems I managed to do Lady, her face and hair. Then I struggled a little bit with the background. But one regular watercolor is muted turquoise but very diluted, and then this shiny metal watercolor to represent frosted ornament on the glass. They helped me to create the frame. Maybe background isn't perfect, maybe I could work on it more carefully, but for me the girl by itself it's very precious, and yes, that's the page where I'm proud of my skills, how I managed to improve, what I managed to learn during my coloring journey. So that's definitely my favorite winter work so far. Thank you for watching, and I hope that you also enjoyed my top 5 favorite works.